Hey everybody, just want to share a quick little insight from my City General Conference this morning. While I was working out, I was listening to Rudger Clawson's October 1933 General Conference address. Now, President Clawson was the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, so this would be equal to, like Jeffrey R. Holland standing up and giving a General Conference talk. And in this talk, he starts out by quoting a former member of the Democratic National Committee. Now, this, for me, was like, that's a bit odd. But it was even more odd for what he was quoting about her. She had just passed away, and he was reading about her funeral services. And specifically, how this lady, who was so prominent in the world, who had done so much and had achieved so much worldly success, had viewed her life as a failure compared to other women, because the majority of other women were able to do what she felt was the highest call for women, and that was to be a mother. And she talked about the fact that there are people who are not blessed with the opportunity to get married and to have children and to raise a family. And for those people, she believes it's their duty not to become self-absorbed and unhappy and to go about doing good and trying to help others. But that should never, ever be construed as being more successful than being a mom. And this, today, neither political party in the U.S. would even touch that with a 1,000-foot pole, telling women that their greatest good comes from being a mother. And the fact of the matter was that she was a DNC committee member saying this. And it was just so fascinating. And if you go in and you read some of her newspaper articles that she wrote back in the 1930s, she would lambast women who are working women, saying, you're destroying America if you are seeking a corporate life outside of a family and you don't want to have a family and you don't want to have kids. And if you are going to do this, you are going to become the destruction of America, and that America needs strong families, and that is the highest good. And this is coming from a lady who literally achieved the pinnacle of all these things, but had not been able to be married. And I just thought this was so fascinating. And Rudger Clawson goes on to talk about the fact that marriage is ordained of God, and that having children is ordained of God, and that first commandment given to Adam and Eve to multiply and replenish the earth is still in force. And it's actually part of every single sealing ordinance given, is we are commanded to multiply and replenish the earth. Of course, there are extenuating circumstances. Of course, there are exceptions to this rule with people who have health issues or fertility issues. I understand that. That is real. And that's not what I'm talking about today. I am talking about the fact that the general rule is that the greatest good that a man can do is to be a loving father and husband. And the greatest good a woman can do is to be a loving mother and wife. And that is a truth that society needs to remember.